Hey, what up, Q? What up, Radio World?
What's going on, people? I want to welcome all of you to the Talk to Q show. My name is Quincy, and this is my show. And yes, the beard is back. All right, so I know it's been a long time since I've been on the air, but football season is starting to wind down. I'm starting to have a little more free time on my hands, so who knows? Maybe you'll see more of my mug coming across your screen in the near future. So that remains to be seen. But just to get you caught up on some things, now you can go to talktoq.com to get more information on the show, or better yet, just Google Talk to Q, hashtag Talk to Q, and you can find me online that way. Social media, Google, however you want to do it. Just search Talk to Q, and you can get more on the show. But it's great to be back. I gotta shake off a little bit of the rust, so be patient with me. Because even though they say it's just like riding a bike, I may fall once or twice. So we'll see what happens, and I'll get back up. And shout out to Mr. Shelton in the chat room. Good to see you back. Appreciate you coming on, bro. But you know what? Let me get to my guest. And so they're the most important part of the show, right? So let me get to my guest, and let me welcome on from originally from the Wolverine state of Michigan, home of those world champion Wolverines, go blue. And let me welcome on Chandra B. What's going on?
Hey Q, thank you for having me. It's good to be back. It's good to hear you back. So I'm looking forward to it, and more to come.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Nice to see you back on the screen. So let me welcome on his other guest. This guest hasn't been on in a minute, and she probably doesn't even remember the fact that she's a show legend. It's been that long. She's your queen. Residing in the Lone Star State of Texas, please welcome show legend Queen Cole to the Talk to Q radio show. Queen, what's going on?
Hey, yes, that is beautiful. I forgot I was a show legend. Okay.
I got to get that updated, because I said the state of Texas.
We back. We are back.
So, all right. Somebody's getting compliments here.
Hey,
all right, and looks like another show legend has popped in, so let me welcome this person on. From the 850 area code, the Emerald Coastline of Pensacola, Florida, making his way to the ring, the man in black, the Buckster. What's going on, Buck?
Hey, how's everybody doing this evening? Happy New Year to everybody.
Happy New Year. How are you, Buck?
Doing good.
Biggity Buck, what's happening, man?
What's up?
All right. So we'll go ahead and kick this thing off and get it started. And so this is what I've been doing as of late, called the Meme Show. Basically, I find memes on social media. Sometimes people send them to me. Sometimes I stumble across them. And they have different scenarios, kind of like what would you do scenarios, whether regarding relationships, parenting, something that may be moral, immoral, stuff like that. And so I toss it out to my round table here and then try to get their opinion on how they would handle it. And we have a lot of fun. We learn stuff and, put it out there to the people. So I'll go ahead and get started with an icebreaker. Okay. Meme number one. It says this brother here brought his baby on his first date. Okay. He had his first date. Maybe he couldn't find a sitter. I don't know what the motivation behind it was, but he brought his baby on the first date. So let me ask you all, and let's see. Chandra, I'll start with you first. How would you feel if someone brought their kid with them on the first date?
I think that's a bit much for me, personally. Also, for me, I think, I always had a rule that I don't date anybody with kids under the age of 3. And so, and even when I was, my daughter was under the age of 3, I wasn't trying to date anybody. And so for me, I think it's important, because for them to completely break ties with that last relationship, and I don't think that happens. There's a lot of back and forth. By 3, the child support thing is settled, all of that stuff is settled. And so hopefully, and so that's what I just think it's a bit much. But I could see why someone would do that, because they don't see small children as having the knowledge and understanding of what's going on. And so it's not an impact to the small child. It's how I see why people would do that.
Okay. All right, Queen, how do you feel about it? Someone brought the kid with them on the first date.
It's a no for me. I'm like Sandra. And you're saying 3-year-old. I don't want anybody with single digit kids. My children are grown. So single digit kids, it's a no for me. And I think too that it could that be manipulation? You like, oh, the baby's so cute. You want me to get all engrossed with the baby. And to me, that's a distraction for me to get to know you. So it would be a no for me. I had a situation. A guy met me and he kept saying he wanted to take me out. And I'm like, okay, set it up. And so finally he said, well, I have my son this weekend. I think
looks like I lost you, Queen.
Uh-oh.
Go ahead.
He had a son. I think the son was 5 years old. And he was saying that, I have my son this weekend. Let's go to the movies. And I was like, well, I haven't even got to know you first. So I think, maybe that's not the date for me. So anyway, fast forward the story. We never got together, but that made me continue to stick to my rule. No single digits.
All right. I understand. Buck, how do you feel about it, man?
Can't do it. I mean, once you get a certain age, you really have to, limit. You have to bring your floor up. So a single digit child would not be something that, I could deal with, especially since I just turned 53. That's not, that's just, my kids are grown and gone too. So the last thing I want to do is be going to PTA meetings at 55, 60, no, ain't happening. Can't do it.
I feel you on that. So, all right. I don't care what digit the kid is. If you bring them with you on your date, then that's a problem. I don't care if the kid's 16 and drove you there. That's a problem for me. But all right. Before we move on, got another show legend who has decided to grace us with his presence. So let me go back to the phones. From the 732 area code, the Garden State of New Jersey, please welcome on the show enforcer, the show legend, Ray. Ray, what's happening?
Hey, what's up, Q? Buck, Lees?
What's going on? And this dope discussions chimed in from Louisiana, said that's a newborn baby. He was looking for a nanny. And let's see, LaToya got a kick out of that. And there's Miss McKinney out in Texas. She's crazy about some Ray. All right, so we'll go ahead and move on to the next question. I got that icebreaker out the way, kind of get you all warmed up. And we'll go here. Okay. Until marriage, people are only dating. So why do people have marriage duties, demands, and their status is only dating? Okay. Why do people have marriage duty demands and their status is only dating? All right, and I'm gonna go back to the ladies on this one first, and I'll start with Queen Cole on this one. Queen Cole, are doing marital things while dating necessary?
This is a great line for me, especially being 40 plus and getting back into the dating arena. I'm like, the expectations are very high for dating these days from what I've been experiencing. And I think it's just between the two people that you say, okay, this is what I'm with and this is what I'm not with. Keeping those clear boundaries. So I'm just right out the gate, just, I ain't going to be doing wifey stuff and I'm just a girlfriend. If it's not going to go anywhere, then I'm just going to be like, okay, this is just for fun. But if you're saying, okay, I'm looking for a wife, then we have more to talk about. But I think people just need to be upfront. I think some people want to say marriage, but they really don't want that.
Okay. And Chandra, how do you feel about it? And I guess anyone can define this, I guess, when I get to you, maybe what you think marital things are. Because everyone has a different definition.
How you doing? I'll tell you what. I think that as we get older, we shift what we think is reasonable and agreeable. But I think that the key word for me is, you said dating, and I heard Queen say girlfriend, and I'm like, there's still a difference, because if we just dating, then that's like going to the movies, that's like going out, to dinner, that's going ice skating or whatever, roller skating, whatever, that's dating. Now, if I'm your girlfriend, then there's some duties that, may come along with that. We may cook dinner, you may cook dinner, I may cook dinner. If you over, you may take out the trash, or I may pick up, some errand and bring your cleaners, your dry cleaning. But when you start talking about expectations, like, oh, I expect you to cook dinner every day, I expect you to do all of that, and there's no promise of a marriage or a guarantee, then I'm not okay with that. If we dating, like, that's not even a reasonable request in my mind. And so, we, like Queen said, we have to clearly define what those roles are and what the expectations. So I know what I'm clearly getting, what you're clearly getting up front, and we can both make a decision to exit stage left when required. But to put those kind of expectations on somebody, well, you got to prove to me, that you wifey material, right? And I'm saying, well, then you got to prove to me you husband material. And that requires a lot. And they don't want to do those duties, but they want you to do those wifey duties. And so just being really clear about what that looks like at each stage. Because dating, that's nothing. That's just straight up fun, getting to know each other. That's nothing. I don't owe you nothing but a smile, in my opinion, if we're talking about dating.
All right. Let me get a guy's opinion. And Ray, let me go to you, man. Are doing marital things while dating necessary?
I mean, it all depends on what kind of dating you're doing. If you're just dating several people, then no. But if you're dating exclusively, then yes. I think that there's nothing wrong with doing marital things if you're doing it for each other. Like, you can't call me over there to put your entertainment center together, but you come to my house and you can't cook a dinner, or you can't make a meal, you can't wash no clothes, you can't take clothes out the dryer, you can't fold them. Okay, now if I go to your house, you need your walls painted, or you got a home project going on, I come over and I help you out. It's nothing wrong with having give and take. Now, if I'm a woman, I would want a guy that wants everything from a woman and he ain't doing nothing. If I'm a guy, which I am, I don't want a woman that, oh, she calling up on the weekend because she want to go to her favorite restaurant. I'm taking you out to eat to spend $70, $80 for what? Just so I can have a pleasure of your company. If you working, you can never take me out. It's no deal. You know what I'm saying? You got to have some give and some take. If you have the right give and take, I think a relationship can work out. It can be wonderful. But if you don't have give and take, and all somebody doing is taking, whether it's the guy or whether it's the girl, if it's all given, it's all taken, no give, it's not gonna work. But if you're gonna have marital standards, I don't think there's nothing wrong with that if you're serious about each other.
Looks like I lost you, Ray. Looks like I lost you, but we'll see if we can get you back. And Buck, you want to wrap it up?
Yeah, I mean, what everybody said actually holds a lot of merit. I mean, really and truthfully, it really boils down to communication. And long as you two are communicating and figuring out, if you're just dating, I know there's some reasonable expectations. Now, if you're girlfriend, boyfriend, whatnot, those reasonable expectations, raise up a little bit. So as long as you can communicate and y'all get, what you're trying to get out of the, whatever your relationship status is, that's perfectly fine. Just long as you have communication and reasonable expectations.
Okay. All right. I think all of y'all made valid points on that. And Dope Discussions chimed in from Louisiana saying, dating should present no pressure or expectations until a conversation and an agreement takes place. You definitely need an understanding. You need some sort of understanding before you do anything. So, all right. And before I go on to the next topic, let me go back to the phone lines. Looks like I got someone else who decided to grace us with his presence.
What up, Radio World?
From the 601 area code in the Magnolia State of Mississippi, please welcome on the original show legend, the Minister of Sexual Affairs, Eminem. What's shaking, man?
What up, Q? What up, Radio World? It's been a minute.
What's going on, man?
Oh, man, slow for the po.
All right. We'll move on to the next one. And a mother sends her son over to the father's house, and let's assume that the father, assuming that they can't be married if they have separate houses, I don't guess. My mother sends sons over to the father's house for the weekend, and the father decides to have the son's hair cut off without discussing it with the mother. All right. Now he, I guess, says he knows what's best for his son. Do you think that's the case, or do you think he went too far and he should have discussed this with the mother first? All right, so son has the long hair as you see in the picture, and he went and got it whacked. And so let me start with a guy's opinion on this first, and the last one ends Eminem. So Eminem, I'll go with you on this one, man. Was the dad right or wrong with what he did for not discussing this with the mom before he had the boy's haircut?
I mean, no, if it's his daddy, you don't have to discuss nothing actually. But the only way this might be some type of issue if it's a situation where the dude barely, deal with his kid or something like that. But I mean, if you actually taking care of your kid, well, that's what it is. That kid 50% yours, whether the woman like it or not. That's how it go. And I'm pretty sure with the kid's hair being that long on the picture, I'm pretty sure that the father at some point probably was alluding to, that boy need his hair cut, or I'm gonna cut his hair or something like that, unless he just did it to fuck with her. I don't know. But as a parent, everybody just assumed for whatever reason that if the kid is living with the mother, that automatically she's supposed to have more input, but that's not how it go. If the kid living with you, but that don't mean that the other parent that made them don't have no kind of say in anything.
Okay.
And that's a big issue, especially in the United States, with different people having different backgrounds, especially when it comes to religious things or certain beliefs or something like that. So I could see where it would be a major issue and somebody get mad about it. But that's kind of how the cookie crumble, though.
All right. And Miss McKinney said that is so wrong. And Queen, what do you think about that? Was the dad wrong for getting the son's long hair cut off without input from the mother?
I think we need more context on it, but looking at this kid's face, he don't look happy. Like, oh yeah, I've been waiting for my hair to get cut. He looks like he done been crying, or his dad done told him something. You know, maybe he ain't smiling. He's looking sad. So I would need more context. But I think that as parents, we do have to come together. Like this whole, you got more right and I got more right. We both had this kid, right? I carried the kid for X amount of time. You planted the seed, so we both have something to do with the kids, so we both should have some input. That's just like, you know, where they go to school at, or what sports that they do, or, you know, however else. We would have to talk about it in order to get there. Now, if he did it out of spite to the mom, that's dead wrong, because like, don't bring the kid into it. The kid is gonna suffer, but then at the end of the day, it's only hair. He can grow it back if the mom say, okay, you can grow it back. But if his dad's saying every 2 weeks when you come, you're getting a haircut, then hey, we got to talk about it. I think it's definitely something that you have to come together on, and just, we can't always be against each other. Like, we could agree to disagree on some stuff. Like, okay, I don't like his hair like this, but okay, maybe can we just trim it some? You know, I think if they talked about it a little bit more, then they could have came to a complete census instead of just shaving it completely off.
Okay. All right. And Misha Miller chimed in. Welcome to the show. Said, I think a conversation and an agreement should have been had. And dope discussions. And Louisiana says, in the photo, the little boy looked like he was crying and upset. So I would have had an issue if it upset my child. That's what Queen was saying. The boy didn't look happy. And Latoya said, I would be upset. I think he should communicate that. All right. And Latoya and Misha, let me know where you're from in the chat room. Let me know what state you're residing in. But Buck, I'll ask your opinion. Was the dad wrong?
Dad should have communicated, you know, with the parent, the other parent, you know, before he just started whacking the hair off. And, you know, it's just not, you know, again, communication. You know, if you're gonna cut the hair, both parents should be involved. So it just doesn't make sense to just go in there and just cut the hair, and then kid's upset. You bring the kid in, you know, just because you may have some problems with the child's, you know, other parent or whatnot. Don't bring the kid in by cutting the hair off and, you know, getting the child involved, because it's just, you know, all you're doing is making bad blood.
Okay. All right. And Ray, what do you think, man?
Well, I think you should have a conversation, because if I had a daughter, I would want her to do something with my daughter's hair and then talk to me about it, because you know that's just unacceptable. If I had a daughter and you cut her hair short, or you made it long, or made it look like a prostitute or anything, you know, it should be some discussion. I think it should be more so 60-40, 75-25 on what the opinion is, but the opinion should be heard. Just like if you have a wife or girlfriend or whatever, you got a daughter. Okay, she know more about what a girl's hair should look like. But you say, nah, I don't like it like that. I don't think you should shave it on the side or whatever. She should listen to you, but at the same time, she probably know more about that than you. Same thing about a father. If a father wants to get his son's hair cut, his hair braided or something, he know more about that than she does. But it should be communicated to each other. You shouldn't come home and get no surprise.
Okay. All right. And Chandra, I'll let you have the last word on it. How you feel?
I'm with Queen. I think that the main thing is what did the child want, right? So number one, what does the child want? And then two, I'm good with having a conversation. I think it's important for us to have a conversation, because if we're not having a conversation, it leads me to believe that there's some malintent, right? Because what's so hard about saying, hey, X, Y, and Z? Now, if it has been, you know, I believe Eminem was like, you know, that boy need his haircut. That boy need his haircut. And if I'm the mom and I'm saying, you know, no, this is why we're doing X, Y, and Z, and you go and do it anyway, then that puts that child in the middle unnecessarily in something that had nothing to do with him. And it's a power struggle that's unnecessary. And the only person that loses in that situation is the child.
Okay. All right. Very well said. I appreciate all of that. And so we'll go ahead and move on to the next main. And let's see, where do I want to go? I'm going to go here. All right. A woman was accused of killing her husband, but the body of the man was never found. She was sentenced. And after some years, she found out the man was living with another woman. Now, this time she's already served, her jail term when she finds out. So after she found out the man was living with another woman all of this time while she was in jail, she went there, shot the man several times, and the man died for real. She was rearrested for the same crime. If you were the judge, how would you handle this case? Would you free the woman, say she had time served, or would you let her serve another jail term? So how would you handle this? Buck, I'm going to start with you first. Does she go free, or do you make her go back to jail because, hey, yeah, I know the guy did you wrong and hid out from you and everything, but you just can't go killing people?
You can't go killing people. I mean, it's man, this is really a tough one. But at the same time, I know she had time served and all that good stuff. But at the same time, she committed murder. So regardless to the circumstance, she's got to go back to jail.
All right. Dope discussion. Said free sis. So, and Chandra, what do you think? Does she go back to jail because she did the job this time, or is it time served?
So if we're talking from a moral standpoint, yeah, we want her to go back to jail. But if you think about it from the legal standpoint, that's called double jeopardy, and she cannot be charged for a crime twice. And so she technically would walk away scot-free because she already served time for a murder that they said she committed. So they ain't say, even though they said she committed it 2 years ago, now 2 years later, she actually did commit it. You cannot be charged for the same crime.
Okay.
Or convicted, I think, something like that. So.
That was like a Ashley Judd movie or something, wasn't it? Back in the 90s?
Was Double Jeopardy.
That was a good movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
all right. I see you.
I think I would have been right there with her. And especially if I understood the law, like what? Because you pursuing ain't gonna get no money, but at least I get my I get it back.
Right.
You claim I did it. I'm gonna show you I'm gonna do it now. From a moral standpoint, it's wrong, but from a legal, she could technically get away with it. There's a great potential she'll get away with it.
All right. I see you, Judge B. And Misha in Texas says time served. Dope discussions again say they owe her time served. And Eminem, what do you think, man? Was she wrong? Does she have to go back to jail, or is she good to go?
Well, now emotionally, anybody would be so mad at that point. It would be hard not to go ahead and go all the way through. But if she could have kept her head a little while, she'd have kept it player. It'd been like,
go ahead and finish things off, huh?
Sue the state, get a little money, and then I don't know where they was at, but the average dope head would knock off somebody for a little nothing, and and it'd been the best of both worlds. Just like like, nah, I didn't kill that nigga. I already served time. I ain't killed that nigga. Somebody did, so
Oh man. And Latoya in South Carolina said, this is hard, but she made a conscious decision to do that for real. I wish he would have come forth. So those discussions tickled at what Eminem said. And Queen, did I get your 2 cents on this?
No, you didn't get my 2 cents, but I agree with the panel. I agree with Sandra. That's the way I was going to go with it. I was like, yes, it is wrong, dead wrong, but it's nothing they can really do. So yeah, I can see her going that way. And then after I was reading, I'm like, is this for real? This can't be real life. Like, please tell me this is not happening in real life, because I do also remember the movie. So yeah, I think time served. She oh man, I don't think they can get her for this.
Okay. All right. And let's see if I can find, let's see, Ray. And I
Yeah,
think this may, yeah,
I,
no, that's
I,
Buck.
I still don't see what this has to do really with him. Now he could have came forward maybe, but he's not the prosecutor. You got to get mad at the state. You got to get mad at the prosecutor. You can't get mad at the guy. You know what I'm saying? To the point that you want to kill him. And was he working? Was his name out there? Was he using his credit cards? Somebody had to know something. Other people was at fault besides this guy. And that was dirty. If he knows she's in jail and he's living with somebody else and not saying anything, that's one thing. But for you to kill somebody knowing that you were prosecuted, evidence was found against you to put you in jail, you got to go against the prosecutor and everybody that wrongfully put you in jail. So if you're not going to kill a prosecutor, why would you kill your husband?
Okay. All right. Good question. And it'd definitely be some lawsuits. I know that. I'd sue everybody. I'd sue, yeah, I mean, anybody that was in the courtroom that day. I sue the jury. I don't care. I sue everybody. But that's just a problem I don't want. But I understand her being upset. Now, if dude was hiding out and knew she was in jail for the murder and all that other stuff, I understand completely why she was upset. But
think about if it was a dude and he got raped, man. You done lost your manhood. You done turned to somebody's bitch. Oh nah, I got to have your ass.
Because Q, let me ask you this question real quick. If you throw that in reverse, ain't nobody gonna say you should kill that woman.
nah, nobody gonna say that. They'll never agree with you on that. You're right. You're right.
They ain't gonna say it, but she gonna be dead.
That's not true. That's not true, because I'm gonna say the same thing. If she's sitting up there watching this man go to jail, like, no, something need to happen to her. Go send your sisters, go get that crackhead you were talking about, and make something happen. Like, no, it's in reverse. It's not, and that's the thing. We got to stop with the double standards, right? Like, we can't say, oh, let the woman get away with murder and the guy. No.
This is America.
No.
It's the home of the double standard.
Oh, all right. I got a couple more for you, and we'll get ready to wrap things up. Now, this one is a long one, so I'm going to have to kind of summarize it because it was way too much to read. It is just way too much to read. And Dope Discussion said if it was a man, I would say the same thing. All right, so we got some equal opportunity murderers in here. That's all right. So, all right, here we go. Long story short, and I'm just going to kind of give you the gist of this because this is a lot. This lady said her aunt was retiring and she made plans to go on a cruise, 3 days in Hawaii. Okay, all the adult children are going. They invited our side of their family, but she says nobody told me. I'm not on Facebook, which is the only place they communicate. They had my number, but no one asked. My entire family made plans for weeks to go on this cruise. They made accommodations, bought tickets, everything, but no one mentioned it to her. So, again, I'm just going to skip through all this because this is like 4 pages, but the family did not tell her because they wanted her to babysit while they were gone. So everyone in the family is going on this cruise, but they were going to leave this lady behind to babysit the kids while they were gone. And so when she found out about the cruise, she asked to go, and they were like, no, we got everything booked up. There are no more spots left, all that stuff. So unfortunately, you can't go with us. So this lady decided that her and her husband would take their kids on a vacation at the same time of the cruise. So the day they decided they were going to leave for the cruise, they show up at this woman's house. She's not home. Her and her husband, her family on vacation, and it disrupted their plans to go on the cruise. And they end up going like a day later. I can't remember what happened, but it basically disrupted their plans. And they were upset at her because she left without telling anybody that she wasn't going to take care of the kids, even though they never asked her to take care of the kids. They were just going to drop them off. So what do you all think about that? This family attempts to dump babysitting duties on an unsuspecting relative and just drop the kids off and take a cruise and expect her to keep the kids for 3 days with, out any type of notice or permission or anything. So, Chandra, how do you feel about that?
What's that saying? Piss poor planning on your part does not necessitate an emergency on my part. So if you don't ask me, you don't plan, then I'm not informed. So even if I was informed, you still got to ask me. So you get what you get, that's just how I see it. My thing is they probably expect, because she's always the one that babysits the kids, that they took her for granted. Well, you get what you get. And if I did stay behind and watch them kids, I would be charging astronomical fees for babysitting, like to pay for my vacation later. I'm just saying, it would be some serious fees if I did stay behind, but yeah.
I feel you on that. And Misha in Texas said they didn't ask her. That's on them. So yeah, they didn't ask her permission. So that's on them. Buck, what do you think, man? Do you think that she should have just said, you know what? Y'all can go enjoy your little trip and I will watch these little nappy-headed kids? Or do you think she was wrong for taking off and not telling anyone? How do you feel about it?
And she fought fire with gasoline. She went ahead and took off. And she did what she was supposed to do, simply because she was not asked. And that's the whole deal here. You just don't assume that she's just gonna watch these kids. If y'all gonna plan, the family was gonna plan a trip, then you need to ask this person and make sure that they're available to watch the kids for that trip. They didn't notify her, so she's going, you know what, I'm gonna take a trip. So I don't see the problem with that, because simply she wasn't asked. I mean, and this person doesn't have Facebook. If you knew that that's what you were gonna do, you should have come to her first, asked for it. I don't see, they showed up with the kids and she wasn't there. It's on them. So gotta ask. If you don't ask, this is what happens.
Okay. All right. Latoya in South Carolina says, good girl for leaving. They played dirty and got played right back in unintentionally on her part, but good girl. All right. And shout out to Chrissy in Jersey. And so I don't know. Does anyone think that she was wrong? Is there anybody who thinks that she was wrong for taking her family on vacation at the same time and kind of bailing on the family?
Nope.
Well, she wasn't wrong, but my thing is, I mean, this shit happen in the hood all the time. I mean, nothing this elaborate, but I done did shit like that myself, honestly, but not on that scale. It's like, I can see this scenario. This is somebody that probably don't go a lot of places and always have a open door. So I guess they just assume, oh, she don't mind keeping, little babies or whatever. She do it all the time, and they just kind of took it for granted. So she was right in teaching them a lesson to, hey, make sure you ask next time. But surely nobody would do something on this scale if she hadn't always did it all the time. Like whatever her name is, they like, you don't never go nowhere. Like, I don't mind keeping kids. So much stuff going on out here, and you got COVID and people killing people and all this stuff. So they just took it for granted that she was, not the way the story make it sound like the family dirty and all that. But they probably just used to it. That's all.
Yeah, the only problem I have with the family is that it seemed like the way it read is that they waited until the day of to drop the kids off on her. Now, had they had a discussion with her prior, then I would kind of feel some kind of sympathy for them. But yeah, I think they were just going to dump the kids at the door, ring the doorbell, and take off. That's kind of how I saw it. And Misha says, you know what they say about assuming. So, Yeah.
You know, and that's what I was gonna say. I'm like, even if they assume that, just the respect level, at least let me know. So it sounded like they were already planning this around her not even going. They didn't even ask her, like, do you even want to go? You never go anywhere, and not even giving her the option to say, hey, I do want to go. You know, I don't want to watch the kids. So I would have not even took a vacation. I would have been right there looking out my window like I'm not home. There's
Yeah.
nobody else to do it. I'm not home.
And I want to.
You don't know what else she had to do if she stay home or not. Like, just because I'm home, that don't mean I want to watch kids.
Yeah, but like Dope Discussion said, she asked to go on the trip, and they still didn't tell her what they were planning. Go ahead, Shantra.
That's what I was gonna bring up. It wasn't they made some huge assumptions and took her for granted because they were still planning on, and they were strategically planning this, saying, oh no, everything is sold out, you can't go, blah blah blah. And at that point, that's your cue to say, hey, do you mind watching the kids now that you really can't go? Do you mind watching the kids? And they still chose not to do that at that point, and had an expectation like she owed them something, or because she always does it. And so that's, like I said, that's on them. Auntie, happy retirement, but oh well.
I heard that. All right, so we'll do one more and we'll get ready to shut this down. I appreciate all of you hanging out with me. I appreciate you all in the chat room giving your feedback. I love it. And so let's get to this last one. And all right, so hold on. Let me get this last one off the screen here. There we go. And here we are. Pregnant wife tells her guests to leave her baby shower if they didn't bring a gift. So if you didn't bring a gift, get to stepping. All right. Only gift givers welcome up in here. So is it fair or foul for a pregnant woman to tell her baby shower guests to leave if they didn't bring a gift? And I got to start with Queen Cole first because she's laughing the hardest, like she's done this before.
No, I'm laughing. I'm like, oh, I mean, people these days, their standards. I mean, because, oh, wow. I can see somebody saying this. That's why I'm laughing. I would leave, but I would bring a gift though. It's too easy to grab a bag of diapers and say, here you go. You don't have to get the most expensive thing. But to show support, I think you should bring something to the shower. I mean, because they're already providing the food, the entertainment, and da. So at least you could bring a gift. I wouldn't go that far to say, hey, if you don't have it, don't come. I wouldn't go that far though.
Okay. All right. Ray, what do you think about it, man?
Well, I think a baby shower, I'm trying to think, I don't think I've been to a baby shower, at least not in recent memory, but the expectation is that you bring a gift, if I'm correct. So if the expectation is that you bring a gift, especially if you have food and cake and all this other stuff or whatever comes with that, I don't think a person should show up to an event that it's expected for you to have a gift and don't have anything. I think that's disrespectful. Now, if for whatever reason, if you don't have it or whatever the case is, depends on who you are to the person. Now, if you're a sister or a close relative or something, that's something totally different. But as a friend or somebody you work with or something like that, and they say, well, hey, man, they don't have it or whatever, okay, it's better that they just don't come than to show up to somewhere where you're supposed to be giving something and you have nothing and you're taking. I don't think that's correct.
We can't hear you.
I'm sorry. Chrissy says, so I have a family member who never shows up with a gift, but will bring someone else one. I just know who to invite and who I want. And Dope Discussion says, it's fair for her to say it, and it's fair for everyone to leave and take their gift with them. Misha in Texas says, girl, bye. It's the audacity for me. I don't have events for just gifts. I assume if someone came without a gift, you didn't have it. And Chrissy says, I don't know that I'll say it out loud, but I'll know for next time. Okay.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Eminem.
yeah. Now, if it happened specifically like that, it's messed up, and I agree with everybody else. But it could have been a situation where they jumped the gun, like, okay, well, I ain't have time to get no gift, and you done kicked everybody out of the house, and you look up and it's about 4 or 5 pending cash apps or something. Then you look like a fool. But I'm saying, like, yeah, I would hope that they are 100% sure that these folks didn't have a gift and weren't planning to get nothing. And then, depending on what the situation was, somebody might say, hey, man, I done blew my whole factory check on some chicks or something, so I don't get paid. Well, I mean, a woman and, spent something on some too much for Christmas, and they about to cut the lights off, so they're going to get their shit the next week. So I'm saying, like, it's definitely, you shouldn't go if you don't plan to get no gift, but if you don't plan to get one, I mean, if it's postponed, then that needed to be communicated immediately. Like, oh no, hey, I'm here, but I got you. I promise I got you at the end of the month or whatever. Just hip talk or whatever. Even though they probably lying, but at least it'll make it sound better. Eat that damn cake and leave.
All right, Chandra.
I think I want to go with I think it was Misha in the chat. My thing is that you don't have a baby shower for the gifts. You have it for a celebration of the child coming into being, right? And so it is that celebration of that child's life and all that. So I mean, I understand it. Now that's some stuff you think, but that's stuff you don't say out loud. Like, And then I think Chrissy said, check. Yep. Next time, don't invite them. Okay. You won't be invited to the wedding. You won't be invited to the next baby shower or whatever else that I got going on. When I don't require you to have a gift and I may be giving out gifts, you are not invited because I see how you cut, right? I mean, again, the intentions for a baby shower is to celebrate the birth of the coming to being of that child. And gifts are nice, but not a necessity.
Okay. And Dope Discussion says it's rude to show up without one, but it's also rude to tell people not to come with one. Some things just go without saying.
Right.
And Latoya in South Carolina says, in agreement with that. Someone with what you said there. Chrissy says, also depends on what number baby shower. So this is
to have it with the first child. But,
so if this is baby number 8, then they might be tired of getting gifts.
Exactly.
If it's baby number 8, then the gift, I'm gonna get her some condoms. All right. So anybody that I missed? Let's say Buck. I don't think you said anything on it.
I pretty much co-signed with, what Sandra said. Just golly. I mean, just check mark, and you know who to invite, who not to invite the next time. I wouldn't just blat it out. Hey, y'all got to get out of here. Just enjoy the time and know next time, and that's it.
Okay. All right, that makes sense to me. Yeah. So, all right, so we'll get ready to wrap things up. But like I said, it's really been a minute since I've had a show. It's been a minute since I've had all of you on. So definitely want to get an opportunity for some of you to kind of catch people up on what's going on with you and everything. We ready to shut things down. And so let me go to the Queen first. And Queen, let everybody know where they can find you, what you got going on, all that good stuff.
Yeah, well, first of all, Q, you always have the best panels, and I appreciate being a part of this one. It's always a good time. So I appreciate everybody's perspective, and I appreciate you for getting us all together. So thank you. What I have going on is lately I have been a part of another anthology. It will be releasing on Women's History, International Women's Day, which is March 8th. and I'm super excited about it. It's called Abba's Daughters, and it's about women in the Bible, how modern day women can relate to women in the Bible. So I'm excited about that. That's my latest project. And I just relaunched my podcast again. So I'm excited about that. Light the Path podcast. And if anyone wants to follow me, you can follow me at One Queen Co.
All right. All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate you being here. And so I guess we really don't have any final thoughts. There's really not anything to give a final thought on. Good to see you too. And okay. But anybody, I guess, have anything you're promoting or anything like that? Want to throw your social media out there? Anything like that? Anybody?
I'm trying to be like you and get back into my podcast. So yeah, I'm not gonna sit up here and say I'm restarting it because I haven't. But that is my intention this year to come back this year. There's a lot out there that needs to be said that's going unsaid as a result of me not doing the podcast. But so definitely looking at how do I want to get back into the game when it comes to that. So. But I appreciate the opportunity to be a part of your panel and the discussion. Like Queen said, is always enjoyable. Always gain some insight, and what I really appreciate about it is that it's mature conversation, and so I appreciate that.
All right. Well, thank you very much. And Eminem, real quick, I know you got something to say. If you can make it quick for me, though.
Oh yeah, man. Great show tonight. Great to have the panel on. Great to have some royalty in the house. You know what I'm talking about. But got a man, y'all have to go out and check it out. But I got a collection on Amazon now. You know, it's kind of like a what's that stuff in the mob when they get ready to, when they done been in the game a long time, like it's what they call that thing? Like not a memoir. What they call them thing?
I'm not sure.
Damn, it'll come to me, man. I watched too many old gangster movies. But having the official release on June the 12th, which is a flip of the original release I wanted to do on the 6th, which is of course my birthday and Ray's birthday, and my cousin Rod's birthday too. So I flipped it. Appreciate all the love. It's already, selling and everything, but I'm gonna have the official
let everybody know what you're
release.
talking about. I don't think you mentioned what you're talking about.
Oh yeah. It's called. Well, no, that's gonna be a surprise. But I have a book, and it's a collection of some of my most prized artworks, and it's called 72 Master Artworks of New Renaissance. And the subtitle, now peep this out, Genius of Jupiter. So I put a lot of meditation in it, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna have the official little it's gonna be online so everybody can attend on the 12th. And of course, anything you need to know about it, then y'all just hit Q up and send some traffic his way. But and if you want to get a sneak peek, it's on Amazon. Check out that review.
All right.
Man, that shit was like a book with 5 stars. I like, man, that's what I'm talking about. It's almost like I paid the man and didn't, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, it's amazing artwork. I'm a huge fan of his artwork, and so I definitely advise everyone to check it out. And I'm gonna put a link to the Amazon on my website as soon as I get a chance.
Appreciate you. What up, dope discussions? Thank you.
So, all right. So, yeah, appreciate that. And I got one more order of business, especially since I have the guys on. This is something that's kind of long overdue. Now, as far as the show in the future, like I said, go to talktoq.com or search Talk to Q and Google social media. You can find the show, get more information on upcoming shows. But the future of the show right now, just gonna try to get in another show whenever I can. Maybe next Monday. I do plan on going on the air again next Monday, so look out for that. And now that football season's over, I have a little more free time. I'm gonna pop up from here from time to time. I just don't have any type of set schedule or anything. But I definitely want to thank my guests for coming on. I truly appreciate all of you, especially my show legends. And for those of you who are unaware of what a show legend is, you may see that title out there. A show legend is someone who has gone above and beyond to help make the show great. Okay, like Eminem is the original show legend. When I started back in 2011, Eminem, sometimes it was just me and him on the show, and we just talked 30 minutes, just me and him. So then Ray came along, and Buck came along, and on down the line have been other people that you may have seen, Amanda, Crystal, True Speech, just a bunch of people. And matter of fact, Erica from Dope Discussions is a show legend in the chat room. So, and Queen Cole came along. So it's very important when I have.
Amen to Arkansas. Oh.
Yeah. Right. So these people are very important to the show because sometimes they show support by just participating in the chat room, like kind of like how Badman came up, or they give me show ideas, or they just there every time I call them and everything. So it gives me, an honor and pleasure to welcome the newest show legend.
She is originally from the Wolverine state of Michigan. Please pull up a Chase Lounge chair, get comfortable, and welcome Miss Chandra B to Talk to Q. Chandra, what's going on?
Chandra, congratulations on being the newest show legend, class of 2024. I mean, the floor is yours. This honor's been bestowed upon you. How do you feel?
Man, this is a great honor, man. You're gonna make me have some tears. It has always been a pleasure. Q, anytime you need me, I'm here for you. And I wish I could support in more ways, but definitely I appreciate the shout out. And so thank you. I appreciate that. And look forward to more shows. So looking forward to that.
All right.
Hey, Q, you gotta tell like how G Money. How G Money did Pookie gonna promote your ass. So welcome aboard.
And I gotta let Eminem say a little something. He's the original show legend. So Eminem, I give you a couple moments to welcome her aboard.
Oh yeah. This show gonna do wonders for you. Of course, you're already very familiar with the format, but see, like, it's nothing like what we lose in America is freedom of speech, but freedom of speech with integrity of having respect. That's what separates Q show from many other platforms. I'm talking about national stuff. You ain't got to worry about, ain't nobody next to each other, but you ain't got to worry about nobody going to the Trump. You ain't got to worry. I mean, it's like you can be opinionated as possible. You don't have to worry about being censored. Of course, you can't go old boy with nothing because we don't want to mess him up. Right. But it's to me, and this is what I said on show number 1,000 or 700. I got lost, but to me, like, I take titles serious. So the original show legend, I'd rather have a title like that than something national. You know what I'm saying? Because this is 100% genuine. This is a genuine platform. It ain't no gimmicks. It ain't no, kind of how they messed up pageants back in the day. It used to be whoever was the cutest or whoever did the best. Then it turned to whoever sold the most shit. So it's just like, nah, that kind of, you know what I'm saying? So when I talk about keeping it real, this keeps it real. And the people you will meet, the different personalities, I mean, it helps break down stereotypes because, okay, of course, I'll give an example and I won't be too long. Like a lot of people don't know, a lot of people have stereotypes about different people, especially from different regions and stuff. So Q really expanded the minds of a lot of people who might not be familiar with people. I'll just be specific. People from Mississippi. You know, he's from Mississippi himself. Buck is originally from Mississippi, and you know, me too. So it gives a different perspective on different things and different stuff into like and then more people know this by listening to the sports show. Like, okay, Buck's into NASCAR. You know, I'm a artist and a Renaissance man. You know what I'm saying? Q is very eclectic in different things he's into and does and listen to, and one of his favorite movies is something I still ain't seen, but I'm gonna make time to see it. And I learned this when we worked together. Something About Mary. He was talking about how funny that shit was. I'm like, damn. I was talking about Dolomite and shit. I was like, oh man, I'm gonna check that out. You know, and you know, so things like that is stuff you're not gonna get on something somewhere else. I don't care if it's The View. I don't care if it's, well, he ain't in business no more. Jay Leno, I don't care. You this right here, you family this motherfucker. It ain't no punchlines to it. Ain't no, you know, who got the most sponsorships. It's like, well, Coca-Cola called me and said, well, you know, since you said this, we're going to pull your this. You know, right now, it's the way I like it. It's grassroots and it's underground, but it's enough hits where it's still out there. See what I'm saying? So welcome.
All right. I appreciate that, and definitely appreciate Chandra, because her and I do a lot of talking in the background, especially when I was really getting back into the show and trying to put something out every other week. And she always gave me ideas. Every time I called her, she was there. She's just like, just send me the link. And so it's greatly appreciated. Again, like I say, it's long overdue. So from now on, when you see her name, it's going to say show legend Chandra B. All right.
It's such an honor. I promise you, it's an honor. It really is. So thank you.
All right. And thank you. And so that's going to do it, people. I'll go ahead and shut this thing down. Again, I appreciate you all joining. Those who participate in the chat room, thank you very much. And this is show number 1021. So we still rolling in this thing. But like I said, check us out next Monday, same time. We'll do it again. And you've been watching the Talk to Q show. No experts, just opinions. All right.